What is up, DTube? What is up, the Steam blockchain? Today I want to talk about the future of social media, that it is cross-posting and that it is basically one UI to rule them all. Isn't that how it works right now? No, it's not how it works right now. Right now we have so many UIs, it's absurd. Tabs in a web browser, tons of various decentralized social media pages. In the future, it's just gonna be one UI to rule them all. And this cross-posting feature, which we're already seeing a little bit right now, but it's gonna expand to basically have support for everything. And how it's gonna work is it just gets posted on all the decentralized places, and that's it basically. That's it. It gets posted on all places in one go. And when a person is creating something, eventually what's gonna happen is the edit of that material, it's going to be automated as well. The creation of something is going to be automated. The distribution of something is going to be automated. The whole chain is going to be automated. You usually needed humans back in the days to do that, but just because tools are getting better all the time, cross-posting is going to be the way to go. Because the new social media is not a new Facebook. The new social media, in a way of looking at it, is not a new social media. What it actually is it's something better. It's an improvement. And that improvement is saving you time and energy. Because what humans are realizing is that the eyes of looking at something, especially in the virtual world. Okay, so what are we looking at? Let's start off with that. What are we looking at in the virtual world? Okay, what you're seeing is light and sound. You're seeing pixels. Okay, you're seeing pixels in a virtual world. Okay, you're seeing pixels in a virtual world, and what we're sort of starting to realize is what is the value of these pixels, or let's say take even value system, token systems with cross-posting. What is a token? Is some artificial value in a virtual world, which is as when a person uses a credit card or debit card, something goes on in the background. You are getting access to something, but the transaction itself is not something that you're seeing with your eyes. It says nobody in the world is seeing money. Have you ever seen money? Or, well, paper money? Yes. We have seen a card, a memory card, which we call a credit card, debit card, that has access to something, right? And yeah, we have been seeing these. We see ones and zeros in a computer, okay? But what is money? What is money really? Even paper money, okay, is still just paper. You know that, right? It's just a paper. But we create ideas, we create stories behind certain stuff. And one of the story with social media was everyone needs to have some followers, everyone needs to be their own social media personality, everyone needs to do this in this way. But what's going to happen is the technology is going to come out and people are going to use it how they want it. They are gonna let their own intelligence use technology in whatever way they want to use it. Okay, and it's if we look at the time aspect and we look at the opportunity aspect, we know that most places, we already see right now with Instagram, most of the content is not even being seen. There's not even any eyes to look at something, right? Because humans are sort of realizing, well, there's so much being created. So how the internet is going to work with cross-posting is that people are only going to go towards extremely niched stuff. Okay, so we're going to have such an abundance of creation of value that a person can just go to the exact content that they want, and they're going to find it somewhere. Okay, like humans are intelligent, which means followers, that concept is not needed anymore, because if people truly want to find something and something amazing has been created, they are going to find it. They are going to find it. It's not going to be that complicated. That means that person, if they're really if they're genuine and authentic and creating some real value, if you look at it from the long-term aspect and combining it with the cross-posting feature that's going to be automated, if we look at that, we can see that in the long term, everyone will be rewarded fairly. Not in the short term. The short term doesn't say much, but just because it's an exponential industry, eventually it means that nobody probably will look at rewards. They're not even gonna look at it. How it's gonna work then is the AI handles that, and you'll be able to even set up an AI where, okay, if this value comes in here, do this with this. And this is also what we've seen with smart contracts. They are basically already doing this in ways where you program contracts that looks for certain things, and if those events happen, it executes the contract, and it does some things. Okay, and this is a massive time saver. And just because also most people are realizing eventually that all of the tokens, or most utility tokens, are probably going to have some kind of staking feature eventually. That's also going to change the way people look at value systems, because they see, okay, I already have this passive income already coming in, so the sort of like the virtual value on various decentralized platforms is also going to play less of a role, right? And humans just do what the machine cannot do. So the code, ones and zeros, that's math, and it's already being handled. So people are eventually going to gravitate towards the innovators. It's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard for a token to build massive value if they don't innovate a lot. Which means just to get people on board, you need some kind of auto feature. You need something where people can just, if you can easily just drip out some value to someone daily, you are gonna get them to sort of hang around. They are gonna hang around, and they might even give feedback to a specific project and tell them what they think, and they might even invest a little bit more, because businesses have to, because many of these decentralized projects, in many ways, they are sort of businesses, because especially the big holders, the sort of in many ways becomes the business people, where they have of course the biggest incentive for something to grow, and for that event to happen, the mindset needs to shift to how can we give more to the end user, and is it realistic that a person is going to sit on 10 different or 100 different decentralized places eventually, and that they're going to build a unique culture on every place? Or is it just that they want a tool that just you create something, it just sends it out to all of the places, it collects all the value automatically, and then what it does is you can then it collects it somewhere, and it's all good. That's more realistic. And right now, if we take for example cross-posting with centralized places, it's kind of lame. It doesn't make as much sense because they is not decentralized, and they also have no token flows. They have no token flows. It's like you post stuff for free. It's a very weird thing. Why would I post something for free? Or why would I post something that nobody can reward? It really makes no sense. So cross-posting with Twitter, Facebook, all these places, it doesn't make that much sense, but it's going to make sense with these new platforms. And when people see the benefits, and they see how, and they basically see how that they're not losing out in opportunity, a lot of people are basically gonna jump on board, and it's gonna be seen as obvious eventually. It's gonna be seen as obvious as that obviously it should be posted everywhere. Obviously it should have the biggest reach. Obviously it should be able, you should be able to reward something in hundreds of decentralized tokens eventually. And obviously this is gonna happen because it's just computing power. It's just a question of computing power, and always making something easier. Always making it easier to compute. And for example, right now when I do a video, it can take 30 minutes to render a video. In the future, that's gonna happen in like a second. So what then happens is, what took a person a couple of days to doing content, eventually you can do a whole years of content in a day. And that can be a little bit hard. It can be a little bit of a mind bender to consider, but I'm not sure really how the older platforms are gonna adjust. Because after you've been used to decentralized platforms, after you've been used to cross-posting, after you've been used to all that, and you sort of see the other centralized platforms, Instagram and Facebook and all this, and you can see how much they could benefit from being decentralized. I'm not quite sure how they're gonna adjust. When a person gets exposed to more value systems, and right now it's not that hard to create more value compared to the old centralized platforms, because they're just so, they're not even on the map in terms of competition anymore. For example, this whole follower model is sort of did break, because right now on YouTube and Facebook, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make people pay to advertise their message to other humans. And it's just this very weird model where a person got a bunch of followers and then they don't have the followers anymore because now they had to pay to get access to them. And it was just that the model wasn't that good in the beginning. That okay, one person gets 1 billion followers and they work as like zombies that always gonna plug into a specific source, then you're basically trying to recreate how the old system worked. And the old system worked as everyone is plugged into the same source. And followers, the idea of followers, that's a very strange idea. It's a very strange idea because then you just recreate the old system. So I'm very happy in many ways to see that system sort of not working anymore, because it really makes no sense. You just consider humans as intelligence, humans being are very intelligent, so if everyone is just following one source, that would mean that we're not that intelligent. So that's also one of the reasons why we see one big aspect of the decentralized aspect is that humans are intelligent. People observing different things. People can see different things, which means intelligence is not being centralized. It's like people observe different things in the universe, and that creates these effects where people are drifting off in different directions, and that people are enjoying all kinds of different experiences. So what I mean also with one UI to rule them all is that right now with the software that people are using on their phones, it's kind of limiting. Humans don't have that much control over how iOS is created or Android is created and what goes on in there, but eventually that's probably also going to be decentralized technology in terms of software, and also eventually hardware. Probably we've seen them trying to play around with modular phones and stuff like that, but we haven't seen that much progress lately. But it's because full decentralization is going to take some time. May even take up to 10 years to see really good decentralized software and decentralized hardware. But I think it's going to happen eventually, just because of the value win-win effect on all sides. So it's something that is cool. It's something that is cool to consider. All of the changes in the world, and one thing that I do observe, and this is also one of the reasons why cross-posting will increase, that is because if you're gonna be honest, even most value or most stuff being created on decentralized places is not really that interesting. It's just not. It's like in many ways people try to give you knowledge, but that is something that just a robot can do. Like a machine can give knowledge. If I go to like a decentralized social media platform, I want to see humans. I want to see humans doing human stuff, and there's too much trying to feed people a specific kind of knowledge, or there's too much, for example, that tries to talk about other potential super cool projects. Why it should just be more authentic, more real humans, because that's the only thing humans have. You want to see humans. We use the internet because we want to see sort of humans doing interesting things, and obviously this is going to grow as well. For example, one of the big aspects also with why video is going to grow, because you can get so much more knowledge. You can see so much. You can see information in a person's face, information in an environment. it's just so much more value. There's just so much more going on, which means it gets easier to sort of get better ideas in your head about someone or something. And that's gonna grow massively. I think the most content in the future is gonna be video. Text is gonna be handled by a robot that's gonna do it in the background also. So in 2 generations probably nobody would know how to write, because there's not gonna be a point. I mean, the phone is doing everything. It can do the value, and soon you won't even have to need a phone, because you can make arguments that just the phone itself, I mean, if you're only using the camera, in many aspects we can make the phone way smaller. There's a lot of gimmick features that really is not needed. We need internet, we need some kind of hologram, and that would be good for most people. And ideally also some kind of camera. And if we can make this super small, even better. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. We are gonna see dramatic shifts in cross-posting in the upcoming years. Okay, the next 5 years we're gonna see wild improvements in technology, and that's gonna be exciting. Yeah, have an awesome day, DTube. Have an awesome day, Steam, blockchain. Bye bye.